everyone, my name is Zara and I'm here with the Essex Art Center to bring you guys week 4 of the Watercolor Basics class. This week we're going to be learning about Georgia O'Keeffe, who is an artist known for her really big, beautiful, vibrant paintings of flowers. This week we're going to be doing a project emulating her style, and in a second I'll show you what that may look like. This is a preview of what we'll be creating today. A Georgia O'Keeffe-esque painting. So as always, before I begin, I'm going to go over what I'm using today. So firstly, I have my watercolor paper and I've taped it down to the table with some masking tape so that it doesn't move anywhere and you get a really nice clean border once you're done with your painting. I also have some cups of water to wash off your brushes. I have a rag to wipe your brushes off. You can also use kitchen towel or whatever you have available to you. I have a pencil for sketching out our outline, eraser if you need it. I have my brushes, of course. I chose a few ones of varying sizes so I can maneuver around the painting. And of course I have my palette. I took out some fresh yellow, red and blue for this, our primary colors. If you have other colors or other watercolors, feel free to use those, and you can use any colors you wish. So let's get started. So Georgia O'Keeffe is known for her close-ups of flowers. You can see that she gets really detailed and she really zooms into the flower so that the whole image isn't in the scope of the painting. So that's what I've tried to recreate here. So before you get started, find a reference image of a flower you like and sketch it out onto your piece of paper. I've done so here already. And what you want to do is you want to make the flower so big that it fills up the entire space with just a little room for background. You can pause here and take a moment to draw out your flower however you wish. And once you've done that, we're going to get started on painting this. So first, what you want to do is you want to choose 2 complementary colors. We're going to do the flower in one complementary color and we're going to do the background in another. For this particular painting, I'm going to choose a red flower with a green background because they're complementary colors and the green sort of evokes a foresty, green, leafy background with a vibrant red flower. So I'm going to get started here. And I'm going to do a green wash in the background. First, I'm going to take my palette and I'm going to mix up a green. So I'm going to take some of my yellow and wash off my brush and take some blue. And create a really nice olivey green. I'm going to take a little more yellow here. And I'm going to need a lot for the background, so I'm going to put even more yellow. And take some more blue. And a little more yellow. And with that, I'm going to take one of my other brushes and go right in with painting the background. And you can just go around the image you've created in pencil. Oops. If you make a mistake, you can use your rag to help you out. But you can do the background just like we did the background in the week 3 video with really nice even brush strokes. And in the case that you have run out of your color, you can simply create it again. And it may not be the same color as the last time, but you can create variation in the background this way. And you can even create a graded background. And it actually adds more interest to the piece, I think. So just like that, you create your background. You can even, for example, do a yellow flower with a purple background or vice versa. Or you can choose from any of the other complementary colors. This is just what I've chosen to go with. I'm gonna put a little of this green in this corner up here. And I'm going to let this background dry. Then I'm going to work on the flower. You can put a lot of fun in the flower. So for example, I've created the middle of the flower here and a stamen, so you can vary the color on those. So for this middle part of the flower, I'm going to mix up a brown. So to mix up a brown, first you can create a purple color by mixing blue and red. And once you've got a really nice purple, it's as simple as adding some yellow and here you can see I've added a little bit too much yellow, so I'm going to add some red and a little bit more blue, and you can see I've created a brown color. So you can take this brown color, rinse off your brush, and for this portion I'm going to use a smaller brush. I'm going to take some of this brown and paint the inner part of this flower. You don't have to be super exact with it because watercolor is very free form and you can always paint over in layers. But I'm going to give a really nice pigmented color to the internal part of this flower here. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go in ahead and mix up a color for this stamen. So for that, I'd like to do more yellow type of color. So I'm going to take some of this yellow, find a clean spot on my palette, and I'm going to put a little bit of red to get an orangey hue to it. And once you have a color you're happy with, again, you can mix up anything you want at this stage. You can go ahead and paint in your stamen. I'm going to use more yellow color for the little top part. And bring that down slightly. And if at any point you want to remove the color, you can just take your rag or your paper towel and gently dab away the excess paint, which I'm going to do here. You can see that it lightens up the color a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and put in another layer of paint here. Once I'm happy with this, I'm going to make sure that everything is fully dry. And I'm going to wait a second for that to be the case because I don't want to create any color leakage in the flower itself. So I'm going to wait a second for everything to become dry. Okay, so now that this is dry, you can go in and paint the main flower. So for this, I'm going to mix up a couple of different reds. So I have this main red here, but I also want to create a more purple red, or at least a darker maroon, and then maybe more for purple here. So let's get started on the main flower. This where we can take this red and just go in and start fanning out our paint. In the center where you don't want the details blurred, you can use less water. And then sort of spread out your paint from there. And I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit. And you can use your water to continue to do this until you've, covered the entire flower with paint. And then you can move the paint outward with your brush. I'm going to just clean this area up a little bit. And then you can sort of experiment with the other shades that you've created. So I'm going to add some of the purple to the flower. And if you add too much of the pigment, you can just use your rag to sort that out. And I'm just adding some of the darker reds in the inner part of the flower here. You really just can have fun with the colors you choose to use. And just spread it out. And you can, as the layers dry, you can add as many layers as you would like to your painting. If you would like to conceal your brush strokes, you can use broad movements like this. And once you're happy with what you have, you can, of course, just let it dry. And see what results. And the nice thing about watercolors is you can add as many layers as you need to once the previous layer has dried. And with that, you have a finished product.